So first things first, we're going to have Philip, who is going to be presenting our archive, which is an archival framework for storing documents. And the first use case is related to the Rohingya people in Myanmar. So Philip, if you want to come up here and begin. Hey.
Hey, hi guys. Nice to meet you. You can hear and see me?
Yep.
Awesome. Let me share my screen. Looks good?
Yeah. It's just not in presenter view.
Yes, I will go into presenter view. Okay, perfect. Then I would say we just go ahead and start. So, hi guys, really happy to be here. My name is Phil. I'm here to present you the Immutable Rohingya Archive, our first use case of our open source humanitarian archival infrastructure. But let's start with let's start with who are the Rohingya. I'm not sure if everyone heard about the Rohingya. So the Rohingya are an ethnic group which were located in Myanmar. You can see it here was Rohingya state here at the border to Bangladesh. But in 1982, the Malaysian, or this time the Burmese government, decided that the Rohingya, which is like an Islamic minority group in this Buddhist country, are not longer any citizens anymore. So basically took away the citizen, denied them citizenship in Burma. And in 2017, the Rohingya needed to flee from the army and the police forces to escape from genocide. And what they did, they went to, they flee all over Bangladesh, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, the Emirates, India. So today they are all dispersed, living in different countries. And in most of the countries, so by today, 2022, most of them living in refugee camps, and they don't have any legal identity anymore. So they lost their, because they're just like refugees and not accepted by most countries, not given or not granted any legal identity. So they're living, as I said, in camps. They often don't have any access to schools, to healthcare system. They are not allowed to work, because if you don't have a legal identity, you can also not get a job. So they're kind of in a bad situation at the moment. Okay, so what's the problem we are trying to solve here? So the Rohingya people, they still have documents with them. They have old ID documents which are issued from Burma. They have birth certificates. They have ownership have ownership claims on ownership on land in of the land they owned before. They have family history pictures and kind of documents proving their legacy. But they are all living in or many of them living in camps with bad conditions. So step by step, all these documents are lost in somewhere, and then basically the Rohingya legacy is also getting lost nowhere. So that's the question: is this the end of the Rohingya legacy, or is there a way to prove that they have actually a legal identity and there's a proof of their culture and of their heritage? So here we come to the R archive, or solution for that. And I have a little recording here for you how it looks like. So we built this archive, and as you see, first thing is you would authenticate. So a humanitarian officer would authenticate himself with an REF key file in order to log in. And then we query the block weave to receive the documents uploaded with this key file. And then you can go ahead and upload a new document of the Rohingya legacy, and you see, okay, you get how much it cost. And that's the metadata standard we were working on with our researchers. So it's 2 transactions on our drive, and we have 1 document or data transaction for uploading document, and then we append a JSON file encrypted with all the metadata required to archive and index these identity documents. You can see it's quite extensive. So there's language of document and numbers and notes. Yeah, and then we set a transaction to the block weave, and it's all encrypted, so nothing is public. And we're querying again the block weave, and there you see it's file ID number 3, already uploaded. And what I'm doing here is we can, via the metadata, via the transaction ID, we can link documents with each other. So let's say we have an ID document from one refugee and like a video stating his consent that he's that he wants to have this document in the R archive. We can just like link the documents using the transaction ID for later research purposes. And here's just like showcasing, yeah, you can download a file that's going to be decrypted in the web app. And yep, that's a German muster ID, demo ID kind of thing. Yeah, that's the demo of the R archive. Oh, and the screen recording.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Philip. Definitely really important that there's somewhere for these documents to be archived properly. And it will be interesting to expand this out to other kind of initiatives as well. Obviously, there's, yeah, tons of applications that this could be used in. So thank you very much, and really looking forward to seeing how this is going to develop.
If I have like 2 more minutes, I just go briefly over the next steps and team.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Go
No,
ahead.
but thanks for your feedback. Yeah, like just like a little bit about our next steps, because we have also a little ask in the end. So like we want to integrate with Bundle Network, because at the moment it just sometimes takes too long until the transaction is confirmed in a block weave, and then you cannot update the transaction metadata if the first transaction was not confirmed. Like usability-wise, we need to work on some stuff, like we need to add like search and filters and different metadata fields for different document types. You know, if you need an upload, or if you're uploading a video, you need different metadata fields than if you upload like a birth certificate, for example. And there's a big problem with key management. So for the MVP, we kept it really simple. But you know, like with encryption and sharing access to data within different archives or different field officers or you know, different employees from different archives. Then we want to scale, so we want to onboard different or additional NGOs. So it's not, the archive should be in longer term not limited to the Rohingya, but maybe there will be an archive for the Ukraine or for NGOs in Ukraine, for South Sudan, and anywhere they need like basically a humanitarian archive. And last but not least, we want to self-sustain us. So we're going to implement a profit sharing token in order to fund the development of the R archive and create kind of like a DAO out of this project. And our vision is to become an open source humanitarian archival infrastructure, which every humanitarian project can use or any NGO can use to archive their documents. And real quick about our team. So we have academia. We're working together with 2 really smart professors from UCLA and Queens College, New York. Then we have our humanitarian support, Saqib and Noor from the Rohingya project, which are having field officers in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, and in the United Emirates, and actually actively collecting documents, scanning them, uploading to the R archive. And on the technology side, I worked with Nicodem and Methodia so far, but I'm doing kind of the concept design and project management around it. And we have our latest join, Matteo, who will support the R archive. And yeah, if you're interested in working with us, then hit me up. I guess it's going to be a meaningful and important mission, and looking forward to connect. Hey.
Perfect. Thank you, Philip. Yeah, if you guys want to reach out, then there's your Telegram and your Twitter right there. So definitely a really altruistic project that if anyone wants to get involved in, just contact Philip. So thank you very much. And next up, we're going to have Bridge Market being presented by Will, and this is going to be a cross-chain NFT marketplace built on Arweave. So Will, if you just want to slide up to one of the mic stands here. Hey.
Hey, let's see, I'll share my screen. It should be fine. Is it working?
Yep, looks good.
Wonderful. All right, so yeah, wait, no. Yeah, so we're Bridge Market, and basically the problem is that blockchain is kind of this increasingly siloed industry. You have separate networks, separate protocols, and they all use separate currencies. And you especially see this with stuff like NFTs, where an NFT on the Ethereum network means nothing on the Solana network, which means nothing on Arweave sometimes. So there should probably be a way that we can use many different currencies to exchange these tokens. So our plan is kind of to have a way to exchange these tokens where you don't have to trust anyone. There is no central authority, but it does kind of transcend one blockchain, right? So basically, lazy loading NFTs allows for the transactions to be done on separate networks, while the track of ownership happens on the end device actually viewing that NFT. So on any network that someone wants to host an NFT, they can say, I will give this NFT to this wallet if in the next hour they send me this amount of currency on some other network. So currently, Bridge Market is hosted on this network called Adamant, which has really cheap gas fees, but it could get moved to Arweave or any other network you wanted later. And basically, the person says, I will send this NFT to X user if in the next hour they give me, I don't know, 0.01 Ethereum or something like that, right? And it has some benefits to it. So all of the messages can be done on networks with really low gas fees, while the actual currencies can be used can be quite standard, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Arweave, etc. And because the ownership is actually tracked using the computational power of the user viewing the NFT, it doesn't waste power having every node certify the NFT's ownership, regardless of how popular it is or anything like that. And then the NFT is separate from the currency buying it, which allows for a greater audience to use it. So I guess I'm just going to give a quick example of how this kind of thing will work. So I'm going to mint an NFT. I don't know what I'll call it. I can choose any file I want. Sure, my calculus homework, why not? And then it's just getting uploaded to Arweave. Should work if my internet works. Awesome. All right, and I will mint my NFP. Wonderful. Okay, and if I refresh this, let's see. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think the issue is it hasn't totally been uploaded to Arweave yet, which is why, yeah, we're getting this error. But okay, I can instead show you with another one that has been uploaded. So something like this Cute Kitten, right? There's a system where people can send in. I can bid on it, right? So I can say I am willing to spend, I don't know, 0.2 Ethereum on it. If I bid, it will show up on the other device. I'm sorry, my internet's being very slow today, and I think, yeah, it's not functioning as well. But yeah, so now what happens is the owner of this NFT can now see what this bid kind of does, and they can choose to transfer me the NFT, which has been pushed now. Lovely. And then if they refresh and choose to confirm that I have given them that amount, it will soon become mine. Let's see. Yes, and now I can see that I can now transfer the NFT, and it is now on my device. And then currently, the website we have offers many different, I guess, wallets that you can host your money on. So in this case, we've got Adamant, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and Dash. Yeah. So it allows for the transfers to happen on another network, while the actual ownership gets tracked actually using the browser of the person eventually viewing the NFT. And then the other thing is, if they choose to not confirm that I had paid them in some form, what the network would do is it would look to see in the next hour if I had sent the money. And then it would allow for the transfer to happen. And then, yeah, so the difference with this one is it's actually hosted on Arweave, which tells people that there's no way that the actual image can ever get taken down. And that just makes it a bit nicer for the end user. Thank you. Sorry about that. My internet was slow and it kind of messed up the presentation of it. But
Yeah.
hopefully you
All
get the
good.
idea, and I'd love to talk to people, see how we can improve it. Thank you.
Yeah, the demo gods, sometimes they're nice and sometimes they're not. But very cool. It looks like you already have quite a lot of tokens integrated there. So
Yeah, no, it works with a lot. It's fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're really happy that you're building this. So thanks, Will. All right. And then next up, we're going to have Dojo Pop, which is a digital dojo passport for martial arts communities. So, Zori, if you want to come up to the mic just on one of these over here. Perfect.
Hi, sound check.
Yep, working perfectly.
Okay, great. I'm going to share my screen now. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep, just can see it now.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Zari Barber. I'm named after my Sicilian grandfather, Rosario Barbera. And our project is called Dojo Pop. It's Dojo Proof of Practice. Let me get into presentation mode here. Oh, great. Sorry, we're a little flipped here. Coming around the horn there.
All good.
Okay, great. So Dojo Pop is basically it's dojo proof of practice. When I was a teenager, I dropped out of NYU and I moved to Japan to practice martial arts with the masters. And my first sensei was a tiny Japanese woman, Miyako Fujitani. And I absolutely fell in love with the Japanese Budo. You've probably heard of black belt, the sort of basic Japanese ranking system. You've probably seen Karate Kid. And that system is about 100 years old. It was created by the founder of Judo, Jigoro Kano-san. And it hasn't been updated in 100 years. And the previous system was in place for about 300 years. So Dojo Pop it's an overlay to your in real world practice. So you go to the dojo, you can check in with your Dojo Pop wallet, and every practice session is recorded. I've included this little image of the wasp on the water here because that's kind of how I see the overlay, although it should probably be reversed with the shadow. Here you'll see a real Aikido passport. This is a dojo passport. You have the lineage founders, you have the identity membership numbers, and then you have a little signature down there. What we're working on is for every large event or big event in the life of a practitioner, you might receive a challenge coin NFT. So you take your black belt test, you get a challenge coin, and then you can have token gated access to souvenir NFTs and or instructional videos from seminars. So if you attended and it's in your wallet, you can access it. So governance, authentic lineage, and transmission. Martial arts schools are globally distributed, hierarchical, and tribal. They are not democratic. So we're not talking about building a DAO here, which is probably mind-blowing, and because it seems like everyone's building a DAO. Budo, martial arts has ultimate stakes. It's life or death. So you want to make sure your sensei has the juice. So Dojo Pop is a way to start onboarding authentic lineages. And we also see this as having proof of practice 100 years from now or 200 years from now. So instead of just having rolled up scrolls showing the lineage, you'll start to have a distributed way to access this in the future. Sorry, I got to go up here. Promotion versus secrecy, the double-edged sword. So we're talking about recording practice and archiving practice, but at the same time, a lot of the power of martial arts is secrecy. So real senseis don't necessarily show you their trick. So it's very important to hear what's open and accessible and what's not. So that's something we're working on. Dojo Pop has to be opt-in also, obviously. A lot of people don't want anyone to know that they're practicing martial arts. I'm looking at rolling this out into traditional dojos initially. We're partnered with one dojo in Los Angeles, another dojo in Japan, and one in Europe. But many traditional disciplines also use a ranking system. Karate, obviously, is one. Also, UFC martial arts. So we're thinking about having a global leaderboard of practitioners in their respective lineages. Augmented dojo. So it's possible that you sign in with your Dojo Pop wallet and your practice is recorded, but perhaps you also level up an avatar or level up a sword if you do a sword practice. This is something that's a little bit of a stretch right now, and I'm not clear that it dovetails well with traditional martial arts, but it's something we're looking at. Really quick roadmap. Q1 is concept. Q2, functioning MVP with onboarding template. Q3, dojo beta testing, integration with matrix and element. Q4, dojo token airdrop for established dojo, functional token gating for souvenir challenge coin NFTs, seminar videos, etc. And we're also thinking about nested community XYZ. So, for example, as I mentioned, dojos are hierarchical. So there's a world Aikido organization, and then there's obviously different sensei run their own dojo, and they also have offshoots with their own students. So how to create that with some sort of nested community XYZ, I think is interesting. Right now, we're looking at using the Finny wallet with the atomic NFTs for identity and maybe the Koi DID. We'd love to work with Arweave, obviously, and we've working on doing a deployment on Spheron. I am a white belt developer, and to get this up and running, I used a Koi template for fundraising. I realized I probably should have used the Koi template for leaderboard to get started, but being a white belt, I just needed to get something up and running quickly. Obviously, we're very early in the process here. Let me see. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm also interested in working with Rorschach, who presented, I believe, 2 weeks ago. I think what they're doing is very interesting with in-game items and possibly using Dojo Pop to level stuff up there. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to step off the stage now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Zori. Definitely a very unique application of Arweave and blockchain and everything that you're doing there. So yeah, super excited for that. And yeah, if you guys want to go to Koi and donate, feel free. So next up, we're going to have Drop Magnet. And I think we have a few presenters. So if you guys the Drop Magnet team, if you guys want to come up to the mic stands here and tell us a little bit more about what you're working on. Oh, sorry, Alex. I think you're I think you're not standing on the tile properly. Can you just go back a little bit? Perfect.
Sorry about that. Could anyone hear me, or should I start again?
I think it was just me. Yeah, you can start again.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Alexander Newton. I'm working on Drop Magnet. I'm here with my two fabulous developers, Edwin and Harsh, and I'm going to be presenting first. And after I've done the main presentation, then I'll hand over to Harsh, who will show you how we are utilizing Arweave for NFT storage on a Solana mint, which we're very excited about. So a little bit about me. I've been in the NFT space for a number of years now. Since 2017, I bought my first NFT. And I get really excited about this technology because of a number of different things. Firstly, NFTs have access, they have authenticity, and I think they enable us to create a system that enhances the experience of not just digital society, but society at large as well. So at Drop Magnet, what our mission is to build organizational things that make it easier for people to discover NFTs and therefore communities and art they like, and organize those things, and then also share those things with the world. So we really simplify it down to being able to build and share your NFT social profile, and have your NFT social profile be something that is verifiably authentic, so that you know the people that you're communicating with in the digital world are who they say they are, which is a big issue that is in Web 2. Even in Web 3, this situation where you can't really be sure of who you're dealing with until you see their face and have a conversation with them. It was just yesterday where Edwin and I were interviewing somebody on Upwork, and they ended up being not who their profile said they were. And going to the darker side of it, my mother was stalked by someone on Facebook and Twitter, and the guy is actually now in prison. So I've experienced firsthand like the dangers of a world where identity is not something that we really put at the forefront. I think that NFTs have the potential to solve that. So what I'm going to demo for you right now is our cross-chain NFT discovery and curation method, which is also patent pending. It's called Drop Swipe. And if you like an NFT, you swipe right on it. If you don't, you swipe left. If you want to have a look at the traits, you can come in here. And if there was on-chain project data, you would actually see the bio there as well. But what we do is we essentially swipe right and we add the drops to our bucket. And here you can see that I've selected 4 NFTs that I'm interested in. They're saved pretty much in my bucket for as long as I want. But what I really want to do is I want to figure out which one I want to buy. So I can go into reswipe, which enables me to thin that list down and choose really, really easily with a high level view of all the NFTs I like, which is the NFT that I love the most. And I'm going to say this one. So this is the NFT that I'm going to buy. I'm now a pro curator, and I know that I can, at this point in early access, I can go and buy this on OpenSea or wherever it is, because I know which NFT it is. But the next thing that we're building into this system is the ability to swipe up to buy an NFT. So we're going to be a marketplace where people can also buy an NFT through this same method as well, and have it be really, really easy. And then if I just go to a different tab, I will show you the NFT social profile. So this is a NFT social profile. Here you have a header image, you have a photo, you have people can message you, people can like you and follow you, and people can send you cryptos to the specified wallet. They can read your bio, they can click your links, see what NFTs you have here. It can be different kinds of NFTs, it could be music, it could be image, video, and you scroll down and you see there's this beautiful gallery that you can display your NFTs in as well. So this system here works off what we call meta URLs, which is going to lead into what I'm going to ask Harsh to present in a moment. Your NFT social profile is an NFT itself, and we own over 100 really exciting domain name extensions that will allow people to express who they are as part of their social identity. For example, if you just want something that's global in general, you can have a me.link or a friend.link or a wagme.link, wagmi.link. Or if you want to be more professional and perhaps you're in the film industry, you can have actor.link, actress.link, director.link. So if you're Brad Pitt and you want to have a really like the coolest social profile for your NFTs, you can have bradpitt.actor.link, and everything's there for Brad. And he's not actually like got it yet, by the way, but that's our goal, is to get Brad Pitt. But essentially, we got meta URLs that cover every single profession and hobby, from singer.link to boxer.link to racer.link and manager.link, you know, just tons of different categories that we have, and each of those is going to be an NFT. So I know we're weary about time, and I'd love to, you know, talk with everyone more about Drop Magnet and how Drop Magnet can even help your projects, anyone else who's listening, because we really do want to build a beautiful social web of you know, as many people and projects as possible. And essentially, yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Harsh right now, who's gonna show our NFT minting DApp and how it works with Arweave. So thank you for your time, and there's Harsh.
Yeah, like this tasting is over. Like, can I share?
Yeah, we can hear you. So go ahead and share your screen.
Cool. So what we are doing is we are using Solana as like you can view my screen, right? So yeah, what we are doing is we are using a minting web app built upon Solana, as we consider different chains and I guess Solana was the best layer one solution. So we built up a very simple, like it's still in building, but yeah, we are using Arweave as the storage for all the NFTs. We have taken care of multiple securities, like we don't want bots to mint a lot of NFTs and stuff. So yeah, it's like a pretty cool minting that for as of now, and works pretty well. So if people are Solana savvy, they know like this is a Candy Machine V2, which has all the whitelisting features and pre-sale features and stuff like that. So for storing the metadata of each and every NFT, we are simply using Arweave, and yeah, like we took care of everything. Like we want to have this cool reveal and stuff feature like that. So yeah, as of now, this is not our actual collection. It is, but yeah, like this is where Arweave comes into place because of providing it. It's providing the permanent solution and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the page.
Yeah, it's really great. So obviously we're not using that artwork for our NFT collection. The artwork that we're going to be launching is fully original, and essentially every meta URL. I think someone has to mute there. Every meta URL is going to feature the person's name who owns the meta URL, whatever the username is, and then also the type of meta URL. We call them tribes. So there's the actor tribe, there's the actress tribe, there's the director tribe, the producer tribe, the singer tribe, the vocalist tribe. Some people like to, you know, say that they're a vocalist instead of a singer, perhaps. And there's the drummer tribe, the guitarist tribe, and so on and so forth. And we really are excited about launching this, and also using Arweave. The power of Arweave is really quite spectacular. So yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Harsh, for your great presentation, and thank you, Jesse, for organizing this.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Edwin, and the rest of the Drop Magnet team. The UI looks really good. I think it looks like the user experience looks great. So yeah, really excited for this.
Yeah. Thanks, Edwin.
Yeah. Thank you, Edwin. Okay, and then we just got one presenter left, and then we'll do the mingle area. So if anyone wants to wait around, and we'll come down into the mingle session to chat to you guys. So next up we have Amir, who's going to be presenting Kip Engine, which is a blockchain game engine and metaverse. And Alexander, if you could just walk off of the mic stand and into the backstage, perfect. And Amir, if you could just come up onto one of the mics here. Hey, perfect. Looks like your screen is shared, but your mic is muted. Yeah, it looks like you're spotlighted now and your mic is muted and we can see your screen.
All right, hi everyone.
Hey.
Getting this up. All right, let's start the slideshow. Hi everyone, my name is Amir and I am the co-founder and CEO of Kip Engine. So Kip Engine is a blockchain native game engine. So that means basically that you can mint game assets and other components as NFTs, and they're all really super interconnected with the blockchain, and they can be operated and used by other games that are built within this ecosystem, and game developers can just dig in and create an open, permissionless, and community governed metaverse basically. So the metaverse needs that permissionless infrastructure, and that's what we are building out. So, and it runs with incredible performance as well. So the graphics that we create using this engine are unparalleled. So on the web browser, you've got Unity, but that's not really super performant when it comes to having big open world experiences. So the problem with the existing game engine and metaverse infrastructure is that it basically just sucks. The poor performance of the web graphics, they're really slow to load, they're resource intensive, and the mobile browser experience itself, either it doesn't exist. So for example, if you're trying to build a game using Unreal or even using Unity, then it's not going to load on your mobile browser. And it's going, if it does using Unity, then it's going to be extremely slow. And current game engines are basically, they're not built for building out these open, persistent worlds with high quality graphics that can load in real time. And also, there are no there are no real time tools for building out this metaverse. So if you want to build the metaverse, you can imagine, we already have Decentraland, we have other kind of metaverse experiences out there, but actually building it takes time and it takes money, and it takes a high level of resources, skills as well. And what we've done is we've cut out a lot of this low level stuff and made it super easy for people to just drag and drop. So we'd have different types of editors. So we've got one editor which is simply just for people to create things in a real simple way. It just means that building is not going to be in the hands of just the developers anymore. And then when it comes to the lack of composability and customization, so game objects, they can be reused, they can be upgraded for more fun gameplay. New features can be added so they can have more longevity for a game. And each game is just different. Like every game is different. So the NFT that you might come out with or an object from that game might not be used in another game system because there are no standards for them. So you need to have standards for the items to make sense in each of the different games. So that's kind of one of the problems that we'd be tackling. So the solution is, this is purpose built for the open metaverse. So it's just, the whole game engine was built from scratch and it's completely independent. So it's nothing to do with Unreal. It's nothing to do with Unity or any other kind of system. It's our own built with low level languages. It's super performant. So it's fast loading. It works on the web and across multiple platforms. We've been focusing quite a lot on making it, making sure that it can load on your mobile browser. So it's really super easy to access. You just need to share it using a web link, and anybody can come on and access and play really complicated games or spaces. And it's also real time. So the actual creation that you can do to build things on this game, you just use the platform and you can drag and drop, and within a few clicks you can be up, you can be ready basically. So you can launch, and it's going to be super optimized as well. So if you do need to have other resources. Like let's say you've got a 3D object that you've created or GLTF file, you can just drag that straight into the system and it will be optimized by our platform. And there's also an integrated marketplace so that creators can benefit financially for the things that they've come up with, and they can sell it to people who might need it within a game that they enjoy playing. Fans can get, you know, really involved as well, so they can start creating models, they can create textures. So for example, like the screenshot that you see here, you know, you might be a fan of this particular game and you might want to create a new design for a door, and you just be able to kind of create that asset and people will be able to use it within the game, all in real time. And also composable and customizable. So basically this means that items can be reused, they can be enhanced for fun gameplay. You can make new features. So we're just trying to empower the creators by building these standards for, you know, composable NFT assets, basically. So you'd be able to, let's imagine somebody's created a racing car game. You might create an NFT, which is like a game, like a car engine. Another person might create something which is like the car chassis, and you'll be able to bring them together to create a new object or create a new item that, or a new car, basically, that can be used within like a racing environment. And then if somebody else comes up with another game, like a rally car game, that same item can then be used in that world. And this is a little slide which shows how it all works. So it's just really simple. So a person just signs up using their Ethereum wallet. They have their profile, so it's all non-custodial. They have an idea for what they might want to use within a game that they're already a fan of or that they heard of, or, you know, they could just create something from scratch. They could create their own game. So we'd have various editors. So there's like an easy to use editor where you can just grab assets that are already existing and put them together to create a new experience. So if you're a complete novice to programming or developing, you'd be able to just use a drag and drop GUI. But for somebody who's a bit more sophisticated, who has some experience building games, who's already kind of worked with Unity or other game engines, then we do have a sophisticated SDK, which will primarily be using JavaScript. And that would just tie into the low-level game engine that we've created. So you can have you can build out super optimized games and experiences without really needing to worry about how, you know, conformant with the latest standards and so forth, because that's already what we've been working on. That's the value that we bring to this. And then with another click, you'll be able to publish it to the marketplace. And of course, it will be shareable. So, you know, anything that you publish, people will be able to access through social media. They'll be able to access it through chat apps. And you can imagine that if somebody's became really creative, then that item that they've made, you know, it could go viral. So that's kind of also our vision. So Web 2.0, you had YouTube and you had other platforms that people were able to get really creative without really knowing too much about how to build stuff. You know, they didn't need to be sophisticated video editing experts to create something that could go viral. And we've seen that happen, you know, most recently with TikTok, where people just kind of drag and drop. They can just add some filters and they just go crazy with their creativity. You know, you could have like a cat that speaks to another cat and that might just get 1 million views. And likewise, you know, you can imagine somebody might create an asset of a digital dog that speaks to a banana. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going with this, but you can imagine that people might just go a little bit wild, and for some reason it might resonate and it might go viral. Other people might just kind of, you know, follow up with that, and they might just use the editors to create new items. And, you know, you can imagine that there'd be lots of things spawning out from these ideas. And you can see from this cloud where it says users experience metaverse, you know, our technology would be used for games, it could be used for digital fashion, be used for art. And for each of these different kind of categories of, you know, of spaces, you'd imagine that there are creators, and we just want to kind of onboard them and make it super easy for them to access. Because right now the alternative is these, you know, there's lots of kind of Web 2.0 type companies, you know, these large authoritarian type businesses that pretend to be, you know, open and accessible and good for users, but indeed they don't care about privacy, they don't care about people's ownership of the items, and that's where the blockchain can come into place. That's why we're really excited to use Arweave as well, where once a person creates something, it's going to be tied to their NFT, it's going to be tied to them with regards to ownership, but it's also going to be something that can't ever be removed. It's going to be permanently on the web. And right at the bottom you can see the Kip Engine. So we've got real-time graphics, physics, animation, lighting, and we've got smart contracts, so all the GameFi stuff. So all of those things we'll be combining together and making it super accessible for people to implement into whatever experiences that they can come up with. Hopefully something better than the cat and banana idea that I had before. So this slide, it tells you a bit more about the product. So the Kip Engine, so it's just going under the hood. So it's a real-time 3D optimized for amazing web browser rendering. We won't just be limited to the web browser. So we can do 3D, so we can do native apps. And also what we're creating right now works on the Oculus. So it's persistent, meaning when you make a change in the open environment, once you close your laptop or close your computer and you come back to it, whatever changes you made are still going to be there. And talking about, so before we were talking about these kind of game experiences, like kind of microverses, you could imagine, like you've got your own kind of space that's interactive. It could be for like a fashion show or something. But also our technology is really geared to making open landscapes and open worlds. And that's kind of different to what other game engines, basically they can't do that. They were never made to build these open real-time worlds where you can just carry on walking and you'd see like a mountain in the distance, or you could see like a forest or rivers and so forth. Those are sort of things that we're working on. Is so at the really low level is making sure that those metaverse type items, those kind of scenes, those sort of experiences can happen in the real time, even on your laptop, on your web browser. So there's lots of kind of complex and interesting stuff that our CTO, Erica, is coming up with. But that's kind of the value that we add. And also part of our product is the real-time 3D editor. So this is an actual screenshot from within the metaverse, basically, what we're building. And you can see on the left-hand side, you've got different assets. So you could have, various types of materials that can be used for the flooring, or it could be used to decorate your house, or even the sky. So everything there is customizable. And let's say you're an artist and you want to create some sort of material, you'll be able to come up and build that material and then either use it within your own space, or you could sell it as an asset that other people can then use. So obviously that kind of comes back to the whole creator economy idea. And of course you can add and customize those objects. So you can see there's that lamp that's been dragged onto the scene. You can change the materials, you can change the look of that item really easily and then mint it as an NFT straight away. So here, this is the screenshot of the metaverse. You can see how you've got photorealistic graphics, and they can easily be displayed on your web browser. And let's see if I can do a share. So hopefully this is still visible. So you should be able to see one of these spaces. So this is right now loaded in my web browser. And you can see in real time, I can click on an item. So this is a chair, which I just...
Hey, Amir, sorry to interrupt. I don't see...
okay, that means I need to share this. I thought I was sharing my tab. Let's see if I can share the right tab. All right, I should have it now. All right, you should be able to see now a 3D space. So we've got, quite detailed interior. All the lighting is real time. So usually what happens is with web games, the lighting is baked in. So that just makes it a lot easier computationally for something to show up. But in this game, all the shadows and all the lighting is done in real time, and we also have physics. So if I was to click on an item like that chair, you can see it just pulled away and it just smacked the table away as well. And you can basically just drag and drop, items, and everything reacts with each other in real time. So you've got crazy physics happening. I could like pick up this clock, and the idea is like each of these items could be NFTs, and they'd be all stored on SmartWeave on Arweave. And talking about SmartWeave, we're also interested in using the SmartWeave contracts as part of our system as well. So it's really exciting to use this technology and see where we can go. And there's one more space that I'll just show if I can. Let me see if I can load it. Okay. This is like an open space where you're outside, you can see the sun. So even the sun, you can program that to, the world to rotate around it at a certain time frame. So everything is super customized within our editor. And even like you can have like colored sky, you can have all sorts of stuff. Let's see if I can. I think I might have too many tabs open.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it's just me, but your audio is breaking up a lot.
All right, it might be my connection as well.
Yeah, I also think we should probably get to the mingle at this point. Maybe if you just want to wrap it up in the next like 30 seconds or a minute.
Yeah, so let's see. Have I shared? I'm still sharing the screen.
Doesn't look like you're sharing a screen anymore.
All right, never mind. So basically, you've got the idea of what the Kip Engine does. So it's like a super efficient graphics engine with all the gameplay items that you could imagine from a normal game engine, like Unreal or Unity. So you've got the physics, you have animations, and all sorts of stuff. And what we're trying to do is just get that in a super decentralized, DAO-powered, community-based platform, basically, where people can just use their imagination to create really cool spaces and games and have it all interconnected. And that's it. Hopefully catch up with you guys in the Mingo area.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Amir. Definitely really cool to see the actual MVP there. I have never seen that before, so very cool to see how the physics work and everything.
Launched by the end of this month, so we'll have the MVP out by the end of this month.
Okay, very cool. So definitely excited to see that. All right, yeah. If anybody has any questions then for any of the founders who presented, we're gonna head down to the mingle area. So we'll see you guys there in a second. Cheers.